From the Magic Gathering Strat News headquarters in Kevin's living room, this is the Magic Moment with Bobgar the Warbarian.
Welcome, Stratters! The Magic Online Championship this weekend. Congrats to Niels Norlander. He took it down with 4-color Cryptolithrites in Standard and then Sneak and Show in Legacy. Awesome job, that was really cool. I think one of the coolest things this weekend with the Magic Online Pro Tour is the first showing of a brand new deck that I've been seeing on Magic Online a little bit. White, blue, red, Nahiri the Harbinger Control. This is especially exciting to me because I've been in love with Nahiri ever since she was announced, and I actually got her as a pre-release promo. So that just shot up to like $70 out of nowhere.
Look at that sweet date stamp Nahiri.
I know, you're jealous. But I've been fooled before.
You're garbage!
Wizards also made a bunch of big announcements this week about their release plan. The set after Eldritch Moon is going to be Kaladesh, followed by Aether Revolt. That's going to be obviously on Kaladesh, which is Chandra's home plane. I expect Fire and Thopters. They also announced Nissa vs. Obnixilis as a dual deck. Planechase Anthology, which is going to be a little bit similar to the dual deck anthology they released a year ago. And then also, they announced that the Commander decks for next year are going to be 4-color decks. And one more product announcement. In order to bridge the gap between those free starter decks you can get from stores and then the actual just buying booster packs that you can do, Wizards is launching a new product starting with Kaladesh, where basically they're Planeswalker packs. We get a couple booster packs and a pre-constructed deck based around your Planeswalker and the abilities in that set, which seems like it could be pretty cool. It could definitely be a little bit more advanced than one of those intro packs, so hopefully that will work out well. I'm kind of excited about it and interested to hear more about how they do that. GP New York was also last weekend. A lot of people were hoping it would be here, but it was actually here. That's right, New Jersey. Nobody wants to go to New Jersey. Seth Mansfield, top-rated player in the world and reigning world champion, took it down with a white-black control deck. It's a deck that's been bouncing around for a little while. It's basically a whole bunch of planeswalkers, a whole bunch of removal spells, and then a few tokens thrown in for good measure. Much more exciting to me, though, was the 4-color Cryptolithrites deck getting 2nd and 4th. This deck just looks super neat. It runs a really cool infinite combo in Zulaport Cutthroat, and then Brood Monitor, which every time it comes into play spawns 3 tokens, and Eldrazi Displacer that you can pay 3 mana into to blink a permanent, and so you can blink Brood Monitor because the tokens it produces produce color. So you can sack them for colorless mana. You sack those, do 3 damage through Zulaport Cutthroat. Use that 3 mana that you got from sacking it to blink it again with Eldrazi Displacer, and you can just continue that loop infinitely. So yeah, super cool deck, and awesome that it did so well. And GP Tokyo was also last weekend. It had over 3,000 participants, and it was the biggest standard Pro Tour ever in Japan. And it was taken down by Riku Kumagai with a Naya midrange deck, which is pretty sweet because Naya midrange is not something we've been seeing a lot. We've reached the point in the show where I am going to check my Tinder. So for those of you who don't know, one of the big Reddit controversies last weekend was whether Randy Buehler and Brian David Marshall made good commentators for things like the Pro Tour. People had seen them at the Pro Tour and they kind of felt like these guys are old, they're overweight, they look like stereotypical Magic players. Brian David Marshall at some points was running around out of breath, walking up to tables, not knowing what people were doing. And so that kind of stirred up a bunch of people on both sides and obviously potentially made those two people feel pretty bad. First off, I want to say I really feel for Randy Buehler. I am starting to get old, and I used to be really fat. But I actually really love watching him. He has an excitement for the game that is almost unparalleled. He doesn't always get it right, but I really do love his enthusiasm and love seeing him. But I also think the people on Reddit had some good points. I mean, I feel like, at least for Randy, Brian David Marshall, I can kind of go either way on, but especially for Randy, I really, really like him, but I feel like Standard is not his strong point. And when you put him in a Standard Pro Tour, a guy who, you know, used to be in Magic a long time ago, but isn't really that up to date on Standard, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. He does a great job with the Vintage Super League from what I've seen him do there. I watch his historical Standard stuff he's doing right now in the Gauntlet of Greatness, and just in general, his Gauntlet of Greatness stuff is a lot of fun to watch because he brings a really neat perspective to it. He's a good player, and he knows a lot about the decks and what was played in the past and all these things. So I actually really like him. I think it's really cool, but I do think the Standard Pro Tour might not be the right place to put him. If you want my absolute top pick for a commentator, I would probably take Reed Duke. He's my favorite pro. He's super nice. He explains things clearly. He's absolutely great. The problem with people like that is he likes to play in the Pro Tours, so you can't just have him on camera all the time. So I guess overall, I don't think the post was very nice. I can kind of see where some of it's coming from, and I think they could search a little harder and probably find some people who are a little bit better at commentating, but it definitely could have also been written a little bit more tactfully.
Needs more Mountain Dew, brah.
And I don't think it's as much a crisis as the author thinks it is. So that's it for this week's Magic Moment, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have suggestions. I'm not going to do one next week. I'm going to be out, unfortunately, but I should be doing them again in the future soon. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. You can find us on Twitter at MagicGathStrat, Facebook /MagicGatheringStrat, or on the web, MagicGatheringStrat.com. There you can find articles and free prize-supported leagues. This is all brought to you by our Patreons and CardHoarder.com. If you enjoyed this content, please consider supporting us at Patreon.com /MagicGatheringStrat.